that's really critical to what I was getting at with the social media Bill of Rights, is that we have the right to self-governance. Yoel is someone who has deeply researched these issues and understands how they're put into practice, both as an academic, getting his PhD in internet governance, trust and safety issues before that was even a field of study. And then through 8 years working on the Twitter trust and safety team and now working at it on Match. In the gap between working on Twitter and Match, he sat down and said, okay, so if we're going to adopt social media protocols, if we're going to adopt Blue Sky and Mastodon and Nostr, how do we make these spaces safe? How do we help these communities of people running these protocols govern themselves? And that's really critical to what I was getting at with the social media Bill of Rights, is that we have the right to self-governance. We have the right to set our own rules. But it doesn't mean that there aren't rules. It doesn't mean that we don't develop an enforcement process. And so what Yoel did in his paper with Sam Lai is the two of them analyzed the problems that exist in large social media platforms and then looked at how they could be solved in a protocol era. So we've gone from centralized platforms of social media where a single person, a Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Evan Spiegel, they get to decide who can say what and what the rules are, to a world where each of us, each community, each server, each moderation team gets to decide what is appropriate. But it doesn't alleviate the kind of attacks and problems. So what Yoel goes into is like, okay, what is the reality of solving these complicated social problems of how do we govern ourselves? We're just so lucky to have someone who understands what it's like to run the centralized system and then study what we need to do to run an open system that includes all of us.